万物灿然，菩萨云集，佛果庄严。如来说法四众赞叹，一幅幅动人的画面，一声声真实的呼唤，千百亿劫以来，倘若是再现。灵鹫山上，法会不散，说法吉祥，经常跃然，人无虚虚，万物灿然，菩萨云集，佛果庄严。如来说法四众赞叹，一幅幅动人的画面，一声声真实的呼唤，千百亿劫以来，倘若是今再现。
Can I start now?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, yeah. I think it's 2 p.m. now. Okay, very good afternoon to members on cloud, our fellow volunteers and all Dharma brothers and sisters on board this on cloud. Today, I think we are going to share with you about the auspicious Lunar 7 month. We must do it, perform it with the right faith. So let us, bring you into this what Jingsi has always been doing over all these years about the auspicious Lunar month. Many people are so afraid of the Lunar 7 month, but indeed, Master Chinen said it is an auspicious Lunar month. Okay. Now, what does it mean by auspicious Lunar 7 month? Yeah, maybe before we begin with this the Lunar 7 month, we must understand why there's always, called this universal deliverance. Universal deliverance actually is a literal translation of the word from Mandarin, pu, tu. Pu means universal. Tu means deliverance. Here, pu means to spread universally across the entire living world. And tu means is to deliver all the sentient beings in sufferings to liberation. So how are we going to universally deliver sentient beings in sufferings to liberation? As you can see over the ancient times, in fact, many people consider the lunar 7 months as the ghost festival, which is also known as the Zhongyuan festival, Zhongyuan festival. Maybe we have got to go back a bit into history to understand, how this originates. Then only we can understand why. Actually, I'm sure things like that would have its origin. So I think this has its origin as well. So you see the Ghost Festival, also known as the Zhongyuan Festival in Taoism, and Ulambana Festival, which is in Buddhism. And these two are quite similar to each other, but actually it is very different. It is a traditional Taoist and Buddhist festival held mainly in East Asian countries. So you can see that in the Chinese culture, normally the 15th day of the 7th month in the lunar calendar is called Ghost Day. Many people are so frightened and dare not go out. And the 7 months in general is regarded as the ghost month, in which people believe that ghosts and spirits, including those of our deceased ancestors, they will come out from the lower rim. The lower rim are those like the hell, the hungry ghosts, and the animals' rims, where living descendants pay homage to their deceased ancestors during the ghost festival. The deceased are believed to visit the living. In fact, I think this is also a very good tradition to me, because actually this one symbolizes that we have got to pay respect and remember our ancestors every time, every year. So there are so many times that the Chinese especially, they would remember their ancestors by making prayers during this festival time. So on the 15th day, the rim of the heaven and hell and the rim of the living are open. And both the Taoists and Buddhists would perform rituals to transmute and absorb the sufferings of the disease. Okay. In fact, actually, this is also a way to show pilau piety. Perhaps it may not be the proper way, but at least we know that the Chinese people, they are very pilau, and they always remember and pay respect to their ancestors, right? So intrinsic to the ghost month is veneration of the dead, okay? Whereby traditionally the pilau piety of descendants extend to their ancestors even after their death, even for so many years that our ancestors have passed away. But every year without fail, we still do such kind of performance and the prayer performance, so that we can always remember our root. And the Chinese is always very, very persistent on the root, how you originate. So normally activities during the month would include like preparing this ritualistic food offering, especially during this month. And they also burn incense and burning joss papers. Material items such as clothes, gold, or other fine goods for the visiting spirits of the ancestor. Now I think it's becoming worse. If you really go and notice it, they even make paper handphone, smartphone, television, and all sorts of things that they can think of, because they love their ancestors very much. Okay, so actually this has its origin. The Zhongyuan festival. There are three times, which is called the now this are the Yuan festival, such kind of festival. In fact, Zhongyuan festival was originally a Taoist tradition. Okay, the 15th day of the first month of the lunar calendar is called the Lantern Festival. You remember Chap Gome? Chap Gome is the Lantern Festival. That is considered as the first one, the first festival, which is an auspicious day for the heavenly officials. to bestow promotion and wealth to the people. So that's why people rejoice and celebrate. So they pray. And another one is the Xiayuan festival. It's a traditional festival on the 15th day of the lunar 10th month, corresponding to November 29 in the solar calendar this year. Its origin is also derived from the Taoist, and this is the birthday of the celestial emperor, also known as the official or god of water. That's why you see they always have that kind of origin. And I believe actually these are all very good things, except that maybe they do it not in the proper manner. So as one of the oldest gods in Taoism, the water god has two brothers, the gods of heaven and earth. Okay, then the god of heaven, is in charge of giving blessings, and the god of earth grants absolution to wrongdoings, because throughout the year, I'm sure we do a lot of shortcomings. So we seek repentance, and the god of earth would pardon us, while the god of water will dispel disaster and misfortune. So together they form the three holy emperors of the Taoist religion. So I think this is also quite good, isn't it? Yeah. So you can see that there are three festivals, okay, at different times of the year that celebrate the wonders associated with these celestial emperors. Okay, the Sangyuan also, or the Lantern Festival. Then the Zhongyuan is the Hungry Ghost Festival. And of course, the Xiayuan is towards the end, where they also pray. So the 15th day of lunar 7th month is known as Zhongyuan, which is also the day when most people worship their ancestors and pray for their ancestors' blessing. Okay, this is the main reason why Zhongyuan festival has become a very popular folk festival. Okay, whereas in Buddhism, what the Buddhists say, July 15, and of course this is referring to this the lunar calendar. Lunar calendar is called the Ulambana festival. The origin of this day is quite different from the Taoist Zhongyuan festival, although it falls on the same date, but different way of thinking. Ulambana originated from the pronunciation of Bulan Pona in Hindi. It means to save the upside down, save the upside down. The pain of life is like hanging upside down on the tree, right? The suffering is unspeakable. So in order to avoid all beings from the suffering of upside down, which is terrible and miserable, the Buddhists recite the Ulambana Sutra in the temple and offer food to the wandering souls and hungry ghosts. Now, this tradition is said to originate from the legend of the Magadhyayana, a disciple of Buddha, entering hell to rescue his own mother. I think this is also very popular, this disciple. And the third one, another way of belief is the folk beliefs, the traditional ancient folk belief. Zhongyuan festival, apart from the Buddha's belief that originates from this legend of Magadhyayana, a disciple of Buddha, entering hell to rescue his own mother, and also the Taoist belief to extensively liberate the dead soul on the 15th day of the lunar 7th month. Later, this folklore also sketched the shadow by adding the legend of the Ghost Gate, which will be open on the first day of the lunar 7th month. And it is said that on the first day of the 7th month of the lunar calendar every year, the prefecture will open the gate of the ghost and let the wandering ghosts to come to the living world to enjoy the offerings prepared by the people. In fact, actually, they are not in another world, but they are also in the same world as us, except that maybe we don't see them. So during this 1 month, the lunar 7th month, all the neighborhood would take turns to make offering to the hungry ghosts. So that's why you can pray for throughout the 1 whole month, pray outside. The ghost gate will not be closed until the last day of the lunar 7th month. And these lonely wild ghosts will return to the underworld. So the 7th month of the lunar calendar is also called the ghost month. But let's see what Master Chen Yan is teaching us, okay? what is the true meaning of the 7 lunar month?
7月呢，就是吉祥月，要用那样的清香水果啦，哈，就不要杀生，这样最虔诚的普渡。其实普渡的意思呢，就是普遍的爱护生灵，解救苦难啦。那还要呢，真正的用最虔诚的心啊，那尽孝尽善哦，那尽好多尽贤的良哦，这才是呢每一年的7月呢，应该啦所要尽的、所要了解的道理。其实啊，日日都要一样啦，日日都爱普渡啦，是普渡咱的心啦吼，普渡天下苦难的众生啦，这才是呢真的普渡吼。
So you can see the real meaning of this universal deliverance actually is purify our own mind and relieving the suffering in the world. Okay, so in the 7 lunar month, many Chinese will offer sacrifices and burn joss-stick paper to seek peace. And Buddhists consider this period as an auspicious month and a month for thanksgiving, for filial piety, and for joy. So we should celebrate by offering prayers for world peace. Actually, that is more important. And observe a vegetarian diet to protect life and our environment. Then there will be peace and bliss if we purify our body and soul and transcend earthly superstition. So we have got to remember that. So Buddhists consider the 7 lunar month to be auspicious and an occasion to offer thanks and rejoice. This is what Master Chen Yan always teaches us, okay? But the Chinese tradition dictates that people should appease the dead and hungry ghosts by burning joss paper and offering animal sacrifices at this time. I always, I always make a joke with my own relatives that why do you have to burn joss paper? Do you think human beings will use that? No, of course. Animals will use that? Not at all. But perhaps if it is really true, it is only for the hungry ghosts. So are you cursing your ancestors to will always remain in the hungry ghosts? Because in Buddhism, we understand that there are 6 streams. Of course, we would guide and lead our ancestors to go to a better place. If not to the Western paradise, at least it will become human beings again. Okay? So this ghost festival custom probably stemmed from the early agrarian culture, when poverty was prevalent and meals were meager, except during seasonal feasts. That's why you can see over last time when I was young, normally you don't have the chance to eat any chicken until maybe Chinese New Year or during this festive season whereby we do prayers. Then only we have the chance to eat. Otherwise, in normal days, we don't have the chance to eat. This was the past life. So people made offerings to gain deliverance from bad luck and ill will during such event. It was also a chance for everyone to have sumptuous meal. Yeah, and also it is a time for a family gathering. So that's why you cook more things, and of course you will do better things, better food for people to enjoy. So since we know that this is not the proper way, there's no need for us to preserve such superstitious practice today, especially if they involve killing animals, which is very cruel, right? And will accumulate bad karma. We know that. Burning large amount of paper, which is wasteful, a fire hazard, and also a source of pollution. So there will be many benefits if, as an alternative, people focus on the Buddhist associates with this time of the year, whereby we can do so many things, right? In fact, this also has a relation to the summer retreat or the rain retreat, because some 2,500 over years ago, during Buddha's time, the summer season in India, even not in India, but anywhere, summer season was always a rainy season. with poisonous insects infesting the surrounding. So it was really not safe for the Sangha group, the Sangha members to beg for alms in the open, because over those years during Buddha's time, they have got to go out for alms giving, so that they will go from house to house to get their food. So during the 3 months period, from 15th day of the 4th lunar month to the 15th day of the 7th lunar month, which is known as the summer retreat. It is a special program for the Sangha group, the summer retreat. Then the Sangha members would stay indoors to meditate and to practice spiritual cultivation. So during this time, the followers would offer meals to the Sangha members. And during this 3 months period, allow the disciples to attain great progress in their Dharma practice, because they really focus on their spiritual cultivation. So upon completion, Buddha was very joyful, because those followers also felt very happy and blessed, because on this day, many of them has attained enlightenment. And of course, another story about the 7th lunar month concerned is Maungā Yayana, one of the 10 great disciples of the Buddha. I think this is a very common legend that most of us also have seen in video shows, in films. So we quite understand about this. So he intended to deliver, remember, to deliver his mother and others from hell. So after he completed the summer retreat on the 15th day of the 7th lunar month, he made offerings to the Sechli Sangha, thereby collecting merits to achieve the great deliverance. This is what is known today as the Ulambana, or deliverance from suffering among the common people. And then it also served to remind us about gratitude and piety towards our parents. So that's why it is called a day of the piety. So maybe just to refresh our memory about this Maungā Yayana, let's have a look at this Master Cheng Yen tells story about this venerable Maungā Yayana, how he saved his mother.
在一次的结下安居的时候，莫建连尊者他坐下来，静静的思考。他感恩佛恩又想到了母亲的怀胎的辛苦。在他还没有出家之前，母亲就往生了啦。他担心啊，所以他入定了。寻找啊，他看到了，在恶鬼道有一个肚子很大、很小、圆圆的左蓝，原来是自己的母亲啊。虽然是他的儿子，他也是跪求啊，尊者啊，救救我啊！梦见尊者，赶快扶着他。你为什么会堕落在恶鬼中呢？因为我在世的时候不知因果，我贪。我嗔，我痴，我都杀生，所以我死后一直到现在都是在恶鬼道。莫见人尊者，他想到了自己有神通之力，所以赶快带了换雨水啊。要给母亲呐， 母亲张开口要吃饭的时候，口中吐出来的火，把整锅的饭呢烧成了炭。母亲的指责痛彻心灵再次的给了饭食。又烧成了炭，哪怕自己呢神通也无法救人。到了佛陀的面前，唯有佛陀能救救我的母亲啊！佛陀就跟目犍连尊者说：“你母亲的业力重如须弥山要仰仗人很多的修行者，才能帮助你的母亲。所以结下安息要解下的这个时刻，大家为你母亲祝福。但是呢，你要为每一位有道行的人奉上了你的最虔诚的供养。”目犍连尊者就在7月15号这一天设斋供养。虽然他是僧众的领导者哦，他就亲自捧了盆水，让人人洗个手一一奉上了佳肴，就是供佛供神，人人呢，这是一念的虔诚，为他的母亲祈祷共鸣滔天恶鬼道，让同一天的受苦难人都解开了，都能解放了，叫做救道贤。
Okay, so can you imagine this disciple of Buddha, Amalgat Yayana? He has the utmost, the highest supernatural power, and yet he was not able to rescue his own mother. Even with the rice that he offered to the mother, all turned into charcoal, burn off. Yeah. So that's why only based on doing good deeds and making offerings to the Sangha group, then only with their virtue and merits, he was able to save his mother. Then another thing is about this, the origin of the joss paper. Joss paper. I think nowadays, although we keep on encouraging people not to burn joss paper because it causes pollution and contamination, and yet I think the Chinese, they are so devoted that they still will do that. But we must understand why. How come there's this joss paper? Because in the olden days, the common people use hand stock as toilet paper, while the rich use very rough paper. Okay, the rough paper resembles the present day's joss paper that's used as offering in the 7 lunar month. This is actually recorded in the ancient history. But it is clear that the merits come from the sincerity of the heart and not the actual offering itself, because of your true sincerity and piousness. All right. Therefore, the burning of joss paper is a waste, a potential fire risk, and a source of environmental pollution. So you can see that, in fact, there are so many ways for you to do, to gain such kind of merits, rather than to burn this joss paper. So Actually the origin of this burning of the joss paper, actually it comes from a couple. This couple, they are still selling papers actually, but because they have a large stock, that they cannot sell off. So the wife thought of a way how to dispose of these papers. So that's why he told his husband, okay, pretend to die, and then you lie down there, then I will cry. I cry so bitterly that all the neighborhood will come around to look at it. So when they come, I will burn this joss papers. And after I burn, then you wake up from your dead bed. And then you tell them that, because I burn so much of the joss paper, and then it brings light, so guide you to come back. So that is in fact, this is the story that was put out by the couple, because they want to sell papers. So since now that we know this is not the correct way to do the background of tradition, we should think twice about continuing such practice. It is worthwhile to waste money. If I ask you to burn our Malaysian ringgit, I'm sure nobody would want to do that, right? So, but if you use the real money to buy the paper money, then you are able to burn. And then now you can see that there are all sorts of things, if you really go and see how people pray. But do you think really that it will benefit our ancestors? If we know it's not, we might as well make full use of the money to do something good and dedicate the merits back to our ancestors. I think this is more appropriate, right? So since we know that, so now in Tzu Chi, I think on the 15th day of the 7th lunar month is known as the Buddha's joyous day. And in fact, from today onwards, actually we are already celebrating the 3 days that we are going to go online. So let's see what Master Chinen is going to tell us about this.
七月是吉祥月，七月是孝亲月。人人呐、能在这七月呢，能斋戒素食，能8分饱，2分救人最好。最重要的，我们要有正信，要打开了迷信无明，要启发这一份人道精神。人道那要懂得人，那就是要孝养父母哦，那爱有敬有好哦，那这才是呢我们人性的本分。要懂得造福啊，要惜福去造福，这不是口号，我们应该呢，人人都可以做得到，用虔诚的心，希望呢，把佛法呢，正知、正见、正行、正思维等等，把正法推入了民间了，不要有迷信啦。但愿日日平安呐、时时吉祥，风调雨顺呐、
So you can see with the correct faith, it will bring forth peace and safetiness to our world. Okay? So now that we know that the 15th day of the lunar 7th month originally marked Sakyamuni Buddha's joyous day because so many people have attained, so many of the disciples have attained this arahathood. So when many of his disciples reported attainment of enlightenment after completing their spiritual practice during this the 12 months of annual summer retreat. So among these monastic, of course, is one of the 10 disciples, Malgayagana. But you can imagine, in spite of his formidable supernatural powers, he was powerless in rescuing his mother, who was suffering in hell due to the negative karma she has committed during her lifetime. It was only after he made offerings and making use of the virtue of the Sangha members, that he could not only liberate his own mother, but also all those people who are together with the mother in the hell. Okay, so now that we understand the whole background behind, so shall we let this the 7 lunar month to be a celebration of positive aspiration and qualities, an opportunity to offer sincere prayers for world peace and happiness. And in fact, you can see now over this coupled on top of this world disaster, the worst is we have this, the pandemic. So that's why we really have got to have a positive mind, positive aspiration to pray for world peace. We can also use this occasion as an incentive to adopt a vegetarian diet, as what Master Chen Nen has been urging over and over and over again, so that we can save sentient beings and protect the environment. There are 3 things you are doing. It's good for your health. You are also saving the sentient beings and also protect the environment. So I think it's time for us to transcend such kind of ignorance, superstitions, and then we have to purify our mind and body for the benefit of all. So that's why you see from today, tonight at 7, actually it starts at 7:30. This is the second session. The first session was in the first day of the lunar 7 month. So that was fast. So for 3 consecutive nights, we will be praying to this, the Sutra of the Original Vows of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva. Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva is also another very famous Bodhisattva that having great vows. So you see, the lunar 7 month is also known as the month of Pilar Piety. So when we want to pay respect to our ancestors, I think this is the better way for us to do. The Sutra of the Original Vows of the Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva is also known as the canon of Pilar Piety in Buddhism, because with this great vow, if the health is not empty, I shall not attain Buddhahood. So for this reason, Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva is also known as the king of great vows. Okay, so when we recite this the Sutra of the Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, we wish to follow and bring the spirit of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva into practice. We also resolve to the will of practicing Pilar Piety and liberating all sentient beings. Of course, I understand that the online with the Jingsi board is all in Mandarin. But I put up here the link here. Actually, they have Romanized. So perhaps you are interested to join this prayer, but because you cannot understand the Mandarin, maybe you can go and download this the book, the Sutra of the Original Vow of Ksitigarbha. This one is with the Romanized, so you can just go. Okay, and another one is on this coming Sunday. All right, on this coming Sunday, there's also another session in the afternoon. That is from 2:50 to 4:30. There's a prayer for blessing ceremony, also online with Hualien, our Jingsi board. And at 2 p.m., actually, there's also a group study, and this, of course, over here, Master Chen Nen now changed the group study into Ping Su. That means actually, when you are studying the book, you are also savoring the Dharma and the Dharma teaching within it. Okay, so you see, reciting the Sutra of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, Buddhist devotees wish that with the great compassionate blessing from Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, their ancestors and deceased family members could be liberated. And they also wish that they could follow and bring the spirit of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva into practice, to resolve to the will of practicing Pilar Piety and liberating all sentient beings. So since this is known as the month of Pilar Piety, so during which this period, if we read the Sutra of the Original Vows of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, we wish that by relying on the merits from the great vows of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, our parents in the past life would be liberated and that all could be relieved from miseries. So, achieving Buddhahood together later on. Indeed, we should follow the spirit of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, recite and pay respect to him so that one day we could also be like, emulate like Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Okay, so of course this lunar month is also a month of Pilapaiti. Okay, so inside this book, actually, this sutra, actually it also tells us about Pilapaiti. In fact, Buddha is the one who is very Pilapaiti, because actually Buddha expounded this sutra of the Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva is to expound to the mother in heaven. Buddha went up to heaven to expound this sutra to his mother before he entered into extinction. Okay, almost at the end of the 45 years of transmitting Dharma to the living beings, so Buddha with the spiritual power ascended to the Tao Li Tian, what do you call, Triya Trimsha heaven, to propagate Dharma to his mother. Okay, to express his belong to the mother. Okay, present were all the Buddha's great Bodhisattva, Madasattva, means so many of them, from infinite worlds in the 10 directions, praising how the Buddha was able to manifest great wisdom and spiritual penetration into the evil world of the 5 divinities. And the evil world of the 5 divinities refer to our Saha world, the Saha world or Samsara world. How he regulated and subdued obstinate beings so that they could learn what caused suffering and brought bliss. Yeah. Okay. So Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva in previous life was also the daughter of a Brahmin woman. She has accomplished beloved deeds to help her mother to cross over from the hell to the higher realms. This is also inside, is explained in this the sutra. Not only the Bodhisattva mother was released from hell, but even other offenders who were destined for the relentless hell, they also received blessing and they were also reborn as her. Okay, this is something really good. So that's why you see that Bodhisattva, after accomplishing his beloved deed, he also made such great vow. Until the hell are empty, I vow not to become a Buddha. Only after all living beings are saved will I attain Buddha. So that's why he made such great vow that he want to save all sentient beings. Okay, so let's watch this. I think it's quite interesting. This is a story that was extracted from the Sutra of the Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. The Brahman woman who saved the mother. This Brahman woman is the former lifetime of Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva.
这不只是浪费金钱，也是灵命不全挂。葫芦文路，伊是真信因果啊！伊知影，这种的杀生啊，不信三宝，一定会对落地啊！所以他伫老母过身了后，变袂家财，为伊的老母做真多的功德，布施啊，救真多人。他记记我甲华定自在王如来，未了解。我的老母伫倒位啊？甲华定自在王如来啊，就只是倒去好好呢打坐修爱情啊，伊真正安尼坐着的时，好亲像啦，去到一个真正的开阔的大海呀！ 一块落条啊，非常的可怕。伫这个海边有真多人在推推塞塞啊，有的互人推落大浪海中，浮沉啊，救不得啊！看伊四六夜车呢，用叉甲吐起来，然后哇，我甲伊推落去，互伊惊恐啊！听到受罪者哀叫啊、恐怖啊，实在真。伫迄个中间啊，来了一位妇道鬼王，看到婆罗门女，赶紧双手合掌，是菩萨来到这个所在。婆罗门女就问这位妇道鬼王：“这是什么所在啊？”妇道鬼王回答哦。这是大铁围山第一中海道，大铁围山就是大地崖啦。第一顶，还佫有第二顶、第三顶、第四顶啊，一顶比一顶呢，做人所受的苦果，一顶比一顶佫险佫较凄惨。我的老母是不是有来伫地角？鬼王就问：你的老母是啥物名？在生做啥物代志？婆罗门女将安尼讲了经过，老母所做所为。想一下，菩萨啦，你爱放心啊！你的老母啊，已经升天3天啊，因为呢，伊有孝顺的查某囝，为伊呢做真多普遍布施啊，佫是真虔诚的供奉三宝，所以成这个功德啊，你的老已经成，甚至呢，甲伊同齐受罪，也多数用这个力量成到仙道。婆罗门女听啦，安心啦。精神啊，赶紧的到觉华定自在王如来圣宠的面前，顶礼感恩啊！因为伊相信三宝信佛、信法、信经，伊了解因果。伊知影伊的老母啊，这世人所做的业，所以老母往生了后，伊会晓为老母啊变卖了家财啊，去做真多呢救济的好事。安心啦，老母已经升天了。 想看这种经验，大铁为山啊，有四顶的挂海啊，生而复死啊，死而复生啊，每一秒钟啊，都是心怀恐惧啊，哀叫呢，都无法度通得救啊，所以这叫做地狱。一落去地狱呢，若无真强烈的功德啊，难咯。所以啊，咱即马开始啊，学个爱赶紧拿直直地，先的呢不断来培养啊，过去的唔知，或者是呢故意去做的，哦，或者是呢无意所做，或者是呢为了自身，就是为了生活所做的，一切所做过来无数以来啊，所留着的都是无好的业啊，咱即马呢就爱好好培养咱家己。第一，咱爱相信因果。信心爱坚定啊，那会当安尼啦，人才是真正有福。
Okay, with this story, I'm sure you understand about the past life of this Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. And this story is extracted from chapter 1 of the Sutra of the Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. So now that you understand the story, when you go and recite the sutra, I think you would like it even more. So this is the story in chapter 1. There are still another 2 is chapter 2 and chapter 3, which maybe you can just go and refer back. Okay. So in this sutra, apart from telling us about the philosophy, about the story, actually most important is the sutra of this Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva is also talking about the cause and effect and the karmic retribution, because the sutra is devoted a wide section to this good and bad effects. The retributions are the consequences of the cause and condition. Whether they surface now or later, this life or next lifetime, or thereafter, none can escape. No one can escape from this effect. The karmic power is tremendous, right? No one can escape. Even like you see, people with supernatural power like this Eliana also cannot escape from that. So when the life is over, the physical body disintegrates, right? But the karma remains and follow through to the next rebirth. So that's why there's a very famous saying in Buddhism, you bring nothing with us except for your karma. Okay? So the retribution of suffering in hell is fully explained in the sutra, as you can see just now, with the name of the hell explained in details. So the strong offenses committed indicated by the karmic energy what caused the offenders to end up with whatever specific hells according to the offenses. There are 4 layers, can you imagine that? So it is very important that since we know that, we have got to cultivate our merits and virtue of giving, okay? The merit of giving ensure long-term benefit. Some receive blessings over 1 life, others maybe 10 lives, or benefit for hundreds or thousands of lives. Actually, this is also extracted from the sutra of Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. This is likened to cause and effect, giving as the cause, benefits the blessing. Okay? So imparting Dharma knowledge ensures our wisdom to comfort, console, relieve the sick, those involved in mishap, losses, bring in health and good life for us. The effort will surface in time to come without doubt. You don't have got to worry. It's time that it will come, whether it's good or evil. Okay? So now what we should do in modern society, in modern living like you and me. Okay? Let's see what Master Cheng Yen has teach us.
现在这一波啦，疫情 无有其他的妙药，因为非人能挡。起码干那一项，大家人爱服用，持斋戒啦，行善念，大斋教义，咱现在非说不可，也是呢，非说不可，非推不可，所以咱爱推送，因为咱人的口欲都是甲动物啊放一条链，边疆扣链，咱断掉了这个口欲链，莫甲动物连做一个，咱来好好用心如数持斋、劝斋，咱若会当安尼啦，就是最好的灵方妙药啦。这期待大家人拢平平安安、健健康康啦。
So practicing vegetarianism and practice the act of kindness. I think this is most essential in time like now. Actually, this is what precisely we can do. We can also express our philanthropy through serving tea. Now, while our parents are still alive, I think this is what we ought to do, at least to show them our respect and gratitude. And even when they pass away, actually, we can also do good deeds and dedicate the merits to them. Actually, I think this is more much better than you go and make offerings, because as what Master Chen has told us, in fact, it's only with the human body, our physical body, that you need food. But when there's only soul, actually you don't need this food anymore, because food actually is just to sustain our physical body. Okay. And we can also live through healthy living by observing vegetarianism now, because this is the only way, Master Chen said, this is the only way now that we should work together to mitigate disaster. So if we are worried about our own life, we should start by respecting the lives of all living beings, because they also have the right to live on happily. By resisting our craving for meat, this is very important. And we can also preserve our health in the long run. Okay, these are the reminders from Master Chen Lien that actually now we should practice vegetarianism so that we are able to bring peace to the world and also to our family. Okay, so now that we know all these, that we not praying with this Jaws paper, they are superstitious things, we can transform from superstition into the right faith. Okay, how can we live in peace and safety every day? We can only accomplish this through our own effort. We have to protect the earth and creating blessing in our lives. This is how we should practice, rather than just go and burn this Jaws paper. I think every one of us, we know very well about that. Because why I stress so much 3 times about this promote vegetarianism, because this is what Master Chen said. This at this time, and this is the only way to do. So that's why it is necessary that we have got to spread this to promote vegetarianism, and we also have to. It's necessary for us to observe vegetarianism, and also for us to promote vegetarianism. Of course, maybe first of all, it's for personal health, and it's also good for our planet. And finally, instead of you go and release life, because in the Chinese tradition, normally when they always like to go and release life, but the greatest relief of life actually is to go vegetarianism, because if you don't eat, people don't kill. Yeah, so the karma has got to be shared. No, not that because you don't kill, but because you want to eat, so somebody has got to kill. So shared karma, the collective karma. So when we feel blessed, we should express our gratitude, and we should also inspire others to adopt a vegetarian diet and do good deeds. So that's why this is what Master Cheng Yen, in fact, Master Cheng Yen keep talking about this every day without fail, especially now that we have the opportunity to go online with Master Cheng Yen to see, to listen to Master Cheng Yen. And Master Cheng Yen is always very glad that we are able to go online to listen, to the worldwide. So until yesterday, you can imagine, Tzu Chi has already stepped across 126 countries. And every now and then, when they made report, they made their report from different countries to Master Cheng Yen, we are also able to join them through this online. So we should count our blessing, and every time, without fail, Master Cheng Yen would tell us that we should, we should now quickly help to promote vegetarianism. Okay. So this is very critical now. It's not only for our public, for our personal health, but it's also good for the planet. So with that, I think this is precisely what I wish to share with all of you, that we can come together to learn more about the Lunar 7 month, how we are going to celebrate this Lunar 7 month in good faith, with the right faith. Okay, so with that, thank you very much, and I hope that all our hearts will be purified, our society will be filled with peace, so then we are able to bring peace to the world and pray that the world will be free of disaster. So with that, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and may I wish all of you happiness. Well, okay. Thank you very much.
感恩慈航师姐，阿弥陀佛。
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Great sharing, very good, very informative and enlightening. 感恩。
Okay. So with that, we end the session, right?
Yes. Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.